So I just got back from going to see Ballerina, the new John Wick spin-off. It was alright. My main complaints with the film, to get those out of the way with, uh, the narrative is kind of mixed in areas. So I think the first act of the film is an incredibly slow burn, which kind of takes you out of it because it's John Wick. You're in there for like kind of high octane action, and it takes a long time to fully get there. It has little bits and moments, but for a long part, just feels like a very slow burn. I'm not too big a fan of the structure. I think it could have benefited from maybe exploring the origin story in small bursts throughout. I don't know why. I just think that would have flowed better. I have a vision in my head of it that I can't really explain. I'm going to cover some spoilers, but yeah, they're not really too important. You go to watch a John Wick movie for the action, not the narrative, which it does action well. It does do action well. There's a lot of memorable sequences. It's just kind of only on the second half of the movie that you get that. I think that the characters are fine for the most part. Ana de Armas' character, Eve, is really, really well written. I really do like her. She's not got any super deep complexities, nor does she have any feeble kind of standing. She's just really well done and plays into a very vengeance archetype type thing. And she's very, very capable, but isn't absolutely flawless at everything she does. She has weaknesses, she has strengths. She feels like a character, which is something that a lot of media doesn't do well nowadays. Which I think like female representation isn't really done too strongly nowadays. I think they kind of feel one-dimensional and don't feel human. This felt human. It was really, really well done. They also introduce a few new minor characters that kind of pop in and out. They're not badly done, they just don't really have a chance to shine. The main characters that shine are Ana de Armas, the lady from John Wick chapters 2 and 3, the one who runs the place that Eve grew up in, and the one that got stabbed in the hands in 3. Winston also gets his time to shine in here, only again, minor character. We see Lance Reddick, rest in peace, he's an absolute legend, and obviously we see Keanu Reeves, who does have his moments, but he does not overshadow Ana de Armas as Eve. He gets like 1 or 2 action sequences, and that is it. And it's really, really well done. Now, parts of the story don't really make too much sense. There's times when characters kind of falter. There's a very, very useless sister plot introduced where, this is big spoilers by the way, at the start of the movie it's established that her sister's dead, but she's not actually. She actually gets revealed in the 3rd act of the film, or the end of the 2nd act, that she's alive, and she thought that Eve was dead. And then they reunite, they have this argument, and she dies, and then it's supposed to be a heartfelt moment, but it really doesn't land, so that was probably the worst little side plot in the entire movie. There is also Norman Reedus' character, Daniel Pine, who, again, has some importance, but I feel the movie probably could have gone without him in it as well. He didn't really add anything other than kind of taking us to another location to start a cool action piece. That is it. There was a few times when I was worried they were going to kind of like not follow the rules that have been established in previous films, but it does follow through. It just had me worried a bit at first. Like that really took me out of the action for a second. Like, oh, is this going to be bad? It wasn't bad. It just could have been set up a bit better. There's also a strange involvement with a coin, which I swear should have been a marker, because Winston gives Eve a coin when she's young, but she gives it him and then he does her a favour. Maybe it's just supposed to be symbolic of you can trust me or something. I didn't really get it too much. That's my only kind of theory, but I feel like something maybe like a marker could have been good or something. And then there is like a tutor mentor type character who really doesn't get a chance to shine. There could have been a good dynamic there, but it just didn't really get explored too much. And I think my overall takeaway is there's nothing bad, I just don't think things get explored well. Everything in this movie has potential. I just don't think it was fully executed to the extent it could have been. Which makes sense, it's a short movie. I still really did enjoy it. I think the strengths of this movie are Ana de Armas, obviously she's a really good actor, really gets into the action. Like she's done an incredible job stepping into the shoes of a franchise known for its high octane action and stunts. Which again, the action is phenomenal, very, very memorable. I think there were 2 big memorable moments, like sequences, which is with the flamethrower and the grenades. There is a sequence where she fights only using grenades, and then like a few sequences where she's using a flamethrower throughout. There's a few other cool moments, like she uses a knife and gun taped together. She also uses a katana, which looks really cool. It just didn't have the impact I think they were hoping for. I will say though, the lighting and sound design, top tier yet again. Like there are some of those moments in the movie which just look stunning, and the sound really makes you feel like you're there. Maybe it's because of how small the room was. All the sounds felt like much louder. Is it the best John Wick movie? No, it is the weakest of all of them in my opinion. Is it a bad movie? No, it's still a really enjoyable one. Do I recommend you go see it? Absolutely. Unless you're on very little money and trying to save, I think the responsible choice is to save that money. But if you have money to spare and you want to go see this movie, go see it. Really fun watch. Slow burn in the beginning, but the rest of it is really, really good. And that's about it. See you around.